You are now listening to Mighty Champions Action Figure Radio.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Mighty Champions Action Figure Radio. My name is John Sargent.
And my name is Christian McGann.
Thank you very much for joining us. We've made it all the way to episode 6. Episode 6. It's been awesome to see you guys kind of support the show. Like, I definitely didn't anticipate we would have listeners like all over the world, which is crazy for just a couple of nerds sitting around talking about action figures. So big shout out to all you guys like here in the US, Germany, Australia, New Zealand, UK, Egypt. It's crazy to look at like the stats and see how far us saying which Superman is better is like reaching. Very cool. You guys can definitely subscribe on whatever platform you found us on today or you've been listening to. Hit the follow button or that subscribe button. If you're hearing the sound of our voices, you have the app open, and if the app is open, the review button is within reach. So hit that review button, and here's what's going to happen. I didn't even tell you this, Christian. What am I holding in my hand right now?
Crazy. So John is holding a gun.
You better review it.
Yeah.
I'm not playing.
No, he's got the Marvel Legends Adam Warlock. Which one? The Infinity Gauntlet card?
The comic book series, Infinity Gauntlet, Adam Warlock, the one that comes with the actual Infinity Gauntlet accessory.
Yes.
The reason that I'm holding this is I am going to give this away.
Wow.
I am going to put it in a box, packed with love, and ship it to whichever one of our listeners has the most interesting review that they then screenshot and send to me at Mighty Champions on Instagram.
It's great.
Simple enough, right? Review us, screenshot it, send it to me on Instagram.
It's all like, I love the podcast. They're hilarious. It's such a great time. Christian's one of my favorite hosts, and then the name is C. McGann 22. It's me.
That saved me a lot of postage expenses. So if you want to win this Adam Warlock, you want a Infinity Gauntlet that will go on any of your Marvel Legends, and you can choose your own adventure as to who has that power in your collection. All you have to do is leave us a review, send it to me at Mighty Champions on Instagram.
I love it. What better way to get a literal free, awesome looking action figure?
Right?
So
yeah, exactly. All right, let's get into just kind of some review of the last week. Do you have any purchases in the last week or so?
Not really. I mean, I bought something from Bat City Toys. I went there last week just to kind of go glimpse what was there, and I walked away with a Kenner 100th edition Batman. It was like the 100th figure or something like that. It was loose, came on a stand, had like blue chrome, and it was cool. It was like $15, and that was like I just wanted to leave with something, even though we talked about last time, just like don't leave, don't have FOMO.
Don't let FOMO win.
But it was kind of just like, I was like, I like that. I have the top of my DC shelf is both Batman and Superman. And there's not really very many rules to that. It's just like, oh, I love the way this Batman looks, or I love the way this Superman looks. I'm going to put it up there.
That's a rule.
It's a celebration of the character.
Qualifies as a rule. Here's a shelf of Batman stuff I like. And here's a shelf of Superman stuff I like.
Exactly. And I just love the idea that he's just sitting kind of on a stand where there's like gargoyle kind of set up behind him. And then he's got like a gold or like a blue, silver, gold, chrome look to him that I was like, man, that looks awesome to me. So That's what I got.
Nice.
But yeah, tell us about your weekend.
Man, I had a big weekend. So, I went to Dallas for AEW All In Texas. I left on Friday. The show's on Saturday. I had tickets to both Ring of Honor, Super Card of Honor Friday night, and All In Texas on Saturday afternoon into, I think it's still happening, actually. I think it's still going. Legitimately, record-breaking length of pay-per-view. The longest wrestling pay-per-view ever. And
Wow.
I sat there through the entire thing. I loved it. I'm not complaining, but yeah. Anyways, went up Friday and I went straight to Dallas Vintage Toys, which we did review on the first episode, I think. Yeah. So love the store. Like, nothing has changed as far as my opinion of the store at all, but the drive up there was nothing short of a living nightmare. If you guys have ever driven on 35, which goes from Mexico to Canada, but the stretch between Austin and Dallas is something else. And the route took me a little different way than when you and I went. Anyways, yeah, so the drive was a nightmare. So my nerves were a little bit shaken when I got there, because I had been white knuckling it.
It's just somebody walking past your car with you breathing into a paper bag.
It was not far off from that, to be totally honest with you. I was kind of rattled when I got there and just in a really big hurry to get the F out of my car.
Yeah, it feels like with Dallas, the roads just decide what they want to do, like randomly.
It's like the labyrinth, man. It's just changing in front of you and behind you and on the sides of you at all times. It's just a fluid, dangerous, psychotic thing with giant trucks that don't care about your safety.
Mad Max.
And I remembered when you and I were driving up to Dallas, we had a lot of time to chit chat, and we were talking about both of us have a propensity to go to a toy store and walk in super excited, and it makes you either buy stuff you wouldn't have bought, or it makes you miss stuff that you didn't see because you kind of get in that anxious, excited kind of mode where you're in fast forward. So not only was I kind of shaky from the drive, I also had to pee so unbelievably bad when I got there. And I had been, right before I took off from the gas station here, I pulled up Instagram and I saw that I was missing in Dallas. They had done this event called Starcast, which is, it's like a wrestling centered con sort of, that's like autographs and things like that. Gotcha. It follows like the big shows, and that's usually where they reveal figures. Mm-hmm. Well, they had revealed a Kazuchika Okada figure there. I saw that right before I left, and I was like, dang, maybe I should have gone up Thursday, because it was exclusive to Starcast and Shop AEW. And I had started driving and then realized, like, oh, I could have just gotten it online. So I voiced to text my buddy who works for AEW, and I said, hey, are you working Starcast? And he's like, no, they've got me working at Globe Life doing like sound checks. And I'm like, you can't like get to Starcast? Like, where is it like located? And he's telling me, and I was like, I guess I just have to try to wait till I land in Dallas and then jump online. Well, so I walk into DVT. I'm shaken from the drive. I have to pee like a racehorse. I like come in. I just kind of like look around. I realize I'm kind of just all over the place. So go to the bathroom, come out, like, okay, where do I start? And then I remember that the Okada figure came out. The first thing I bought in Dallas Vintage Toys
was online.
Was an online wrestling figure.
That is so funny.
I pre-ordered the Okada, one of 3,000, and I'm so glad that I did. Pricey, but I need it. I just like, so this is the equivalent of the Will Ospreay figure from my countdown on my hit list last week. That has gone up to $150. So I knew if I don't get this figure now, it's never going to be any cheaper than it is today. So I have to have it. Like, have to have it. So anyways, took care of that. Now I can take a couple deep breaths, and I am fully prepared to spend all day in Dallas Vintage Toys. One of the employees was like, oh, like, he sees me looking at the wrestling stuff, and he goes, oh, just so you know, we have loose wrestling stuff over there. I said, don't worry about it, pal. I'm going to be here all day.
Yeah.
Like, I brought a tent.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to be here for a long old...
In fact, I just took a pee. Not sure if it was a bathroom or somebody's closet or...
I'm going to be here all day. Fast forward to about 40 minutes later, and I'm walking out the door. Because two things. One, you and I had just been there, like not even a month earlier, not even a month earlier.
Yeah.
They do have a lot of stuff that wasn't there when we were there.
Yeah.
But they didn't have a lot of stuff that wasn't there when we were there that I collect. So love the store, great employees, everyone must go. But what I collect, there was not that much of this time around, and there was really no reason to kind of dilly-dally. So, but I didn't walk out empty-handed. I got a Ravishing Rick Rude and an Iron Sheik WWE Elite for this shelf right here behind me. Needed those. The price was really good on them. A little bit older figures. The Rick Rude does have a lot of staining on it, but it's underneath his robe, so I don't really care that much. I was a little disappointed to get that back and be like, yeah, like, but it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
So I did buy 3 figures while standing inside of Dallas Vintage Toys, and I had 2 of them I bought from them.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
So, so that was that day, and then I was like, okay, now I drove to the hotel, and then I was like, okay, I got to get to StarCast and see what's up there as far as toys go. The StarCast tickets, though, were for the weekend, for the whole weekend, and they were $87. And I was like, I'm not doing that. There's no autographs I wanted to get. Yeah. I mean, I do need Sting like really badly, but I'm gonna wait until he comes back through Texas because he's constantly on tour. And I go, okay, I'll just get the one day on Saturday. So I was like, okay, what do I do with my time? Well, they had a exclusive AEW shop like outdoor merch stand, and I spotted in their Instagram photos that Will Ospreay figure.
Whoa.
And I was like, I'm going to just go to the field. I'm just going to go check out the field. I've never been to, I love baseball parks. Like, I love just checking out baseball parks. So I was like, I'll just go there. So I just Ubered over there. And it's just these little tents outside that had like show specific hats and shirts and scarves and whatnot. It's all crazy overpriced. And they have the Will Ospreay 1 of 3,000 figures. Like, I can see one up on the wall and a couple like in boxes for $150. They're selling them for the exact same price that they go for on eBay. They knew. I Ubered all the way over there, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, dang it, dude. That's probably the cheapest I'm ever going to see it, at least for a long time. But I was like, I'm just not going to do that.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's a lot.
Yeah. They also had an MJF figure that came out for this event that was also $150. So it hasn't even had an opportunity to reach the aftermarket.
Dang,
and they're selling it for aftermarket rates. That was a little disappointing.
That's frustrating because now it'll be $300.
Yeah. So that was a bummer. And I didn't buy any merch either because I didn't like any of it. Like, I don't know. I have a weird relationship with wrestling, like shirts and stuff. I think the vast majority are really, really lame. So yeah, didn't buy that. And then Saturday, the day of the actual event, I had a ton of time to kill, so I actually bought tickets to go see Superman. Or ticket. I was doing all this by myself. Went and saw Superman in the morning, and then Ubered straight from that to the park, to the ballpark. Then I got there at about 1-ish for a show that starts at 2, and then sat there until about 8:30 when the show ended. Yeah. And then it was pouring rain, and then stood outside for about 45 minutes worrying that my phone was going to die before I could Uber back to the hotel. And so that was basically and I'm not complaining. It was great. It was a fantastic show. This just isn't a wrestling show, so I'm not going to review it. But if you want to talk to me about what it was like, hit me up at My Champions. But
yeah, that's funny, man. I just imagine you with one of those like little hats that had the propeller on it because it was just John's day out.
Yeah, it was amazing.
You with a giant thing of cotton candy and just like.
I love doing stuff by myself.
Yeah.
Like, I love doing stuff with my girlfriend and my friends also. Like, it's like equal, you know what I mean? But I'm not one of these people that dislikes doing things alone, dislikes eating alone, going to shows alone, going to movies alone.
Yeah, the whole eating in a restaurant by yourself, that one's a little.
Oh, dude, it's the best.
I kid. That one's hard to
absolute
overcome.
Best. Okay, I'm gonna convince you that it's great. When you leave here and we get done recording this amazing episode of this podcast, go home to your loving girlfriend, ask her where she wants to eat. Okay. And then in that exact moment, ask yourself, would I enjoy not having to do this?
Well, yeah, that's fair and all, but it's like I think I would just rather be, I don't know. Maybe it's because like I've just had bad memories of going and eating by myself, and then just something stupid happening to me that just causes me to have a
nobody's gonna blow spitballs at you.
Well,
at Applebee's.
Yeah, I know exactly. Yeah.
By yourself at Chili's, just getting your baby back.
Yeah.
All right, that I think that pretty much is my weekly purchases. Is just those 3 figures. Lot of eBay saves, however, because we're gonna get to later on. We're gonna get to our on deck collections part 2.
Yep.
And I'm gonna tell you all about my saved searches on eBay. But before we do that, should we do some news?
Let's do it.
Well, LexCorp's going down. Whether it's me or Superman, who does it?
If it's Superman, that makes it news, and I'll be happy to print it.
All right, well, it's going to talk about all the news that is fit to print. Kind of a busy week, at least in comparison to what we've kind of been experiencing.
Yeah.
McFarlane evidently just waited until the last minute and then is now just cranking stuff out. Like, I guess this is just what it's going to be going forward for their last year. The most recent thing I saw was they showed some pictures from the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Kingdom Come cover Superman.
Yeah.
It looks really cool.
Yeah.
I think it's going to depend on the packaging. Because that's something that for me would stay in box. I'm not going to buy it, but if I did, it would stay in box.
I think it's just like meant to act like a statue in a way.
I think it's similar to that RoboCop poster figure from NECA. I think it's like a similar kind of deal to that. I also saw a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive gold label Gold Batman, which is kind of like a lithograph art print, like gold Batman, but it doesn't actually look like the gold lithograph because his cowl and cape are black.
Yeah.
And his belt is black. So it looks more like a Kenner fantasy figure that does, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the Hush figure also, which I think that's one of the better McFarlane toys for sure.
But it's the same McFarlane, just repaint for the sake of
course.
Repaint.
I mean, that's like, just the key.
Yeah. And then McFarlane also showed off San Diego Comic-Con exclusives gold label Mortal Kombat figures. So this one's a little bit confusing to me. So they had announced that they're going to make new Mortal Kombat figures.
Mm-hmm.
These ones that are going to be at San Diego Comic-Con, I believe, are part of the old Mortal Kombat 11 line.
Yeah.
That already kind of crashed and burned. And they're glow in the dark.
For some
reason. So again, McFarlane just repaints and reissues, which when you're about to have a brand new Mortal Kombat line come out that you want excitement for, you're going to water down that market right beforehand.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the only thing they really have once they lose DC. Unless they've gained something that we don't know about. So that's a little bit weird to me. In other news, did you see what Super 7's got going on with Godzilla? They've essentially dedicated their entire booth at Comic-Con to Godzilla.
No, I didn't see that.
They have they kind of showed off a bunch of like hats and shirts and figures and like all kinds of stuff, like merchandise of like Super 7 Godzilla Station. It's almost like I don't even know how you describe it. It's almost themed like an emergency response station centered around Godzilla that is all Super 7. It looks really fun. It's just kind of weird that it looks like they're basically dedicating their entire Comic-Con to that, which is a little odd. I also saw that from Boss Fight Studios. Do you know anything about Boss Fight Studios?
Nothing.
So I'm trying to remember what they did before they got into wrestling. They did something noteworthy. Get at me at Mighty Champions, like jog my memory. But they started doing wrestling figures for like Lucha Libre. And they did this Ultimo Dragon right here, but they're gonna do a Hellboy. They're gonna do a like a comic Hellboy, and I've got high hopes for that because I think Boss Fight Studios does a pretty good job.
That's pretty cool.
I also saw Mondo put out a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
There's like a Savage Land Rogue, which all you absolute gooners will be happy about.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the Mondo Robin.
Ooh, dude, that one
looks very
Batman
cool.
animated series Robin, that makes me borderline consider getting Mondo.
Yeah.
And I'm not like a massive Robin fan by any means.
I just love that Robin.
That Robin looks so good.
Yeah.
And they have a picture of it paired with their Batman and like against their Joker, and it's doing things to me. There is I guess it's from McFarlane, one of their statues. They're doing Berserker, the Keanu Reeves comic book.
Yeah.
I don't really care about statues, but I love Keanu Reeves and I love Berserker, so I thought it was cool that that's happening. There's also the Power Rangers Reignition.
Yeah.
Kind of hit the scene this week with like a full, complete line just at launch. They've got like all the Power Rangers, which are flip heads. They've got all the vehicles. They got small, like 1-inch figures. They've got toys, like handheld blasters. It's like a full, complete. It's as though there was a movie coming out or like a show, like a full, complete line of toys and merchandise.
Yeah, because it's Playmates. It's not Hasbro.
Yeah.
So, and the marketing of it looks way better than Hasbro. It looks like Power Rangers should look.
Yeah, it looks like if you and I were like, let's launch a brand new Power Rangers thing that's homage to the OG Power Rangers thing. It's really cool. I'm not gonna buy it. But...
Yeah, I don't know if I would get any of them, but I do like the idea. I do want to see them in stores just to be like,
yeah, I want to touch it. I want to see it for sure. Did you see the Mafex Punisher?
I was just about to bring that up. That's crazy. I know Mafex Daredevil looks amazing. So, dude, imagine just having both the Punisher and Daredevil Mafex.
Yeah, and it's like classic black and white, big long skull Punisher. Yeah. Like, you can only see his chest and his chin. You can't really see like if he's got the big 70s hair or what like the rest of it looks like,
headband or something
or
like
the
that.
Headband or like, but I'm gonna stay tuned to that. There's a likelihood that that's my first ever Mafex figure. And then who makes this? The Super 7 Thundercats Thunder Tank. Did you see this?
No, I didn't see that one.
So it is,
wow.
They put out a Thunder Tank before that was like a statue.
Yeah.
This one says toy version. And it has swiveling turret, working tank treads, opening cargo bay doors, armored windshield, seated for 6 Thundercats, front mounted laser cannon, giant claws with hidden weapons, and scaled to fit 7-inch Super 7 Ultimate figures. It comes with Panthro. And Panthro has his like nunchucks and a bunch of hands. Panthro looks ripped out of the cartoon in the best way possible. It's up for pre-order right now on Amazon. I can only imagine how much this freaking thing costs.
Well, did you look it up?
I didn't.
All right, I'm going to try to find it.
I'm terrified to know that information.
Yeah.
Because we talked about a week or two ago. The only reason I don't have a Thundercats collection is just monetary.
Yeah.
That I just simply can't collect everything. So that's the only reason that I haven't gotten around to that. But that thing is just astonishing for any of you 80s kids like me that have always wanted a Thunder Tank. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull it up now, but it's funny because again, it's like that's the perfect toy for a kid to want to play with.
Oh my God.
But they're not making it for kids. They're making it for...
Well, the fact that it's scaled for 7-inch figures too makes it enormous. There's like a render of a guy holding it for scale, and it's about the size of a 3-year-old.
Yeah.
It's
so
like
you want to take a guess?
$400.
Keep going.
Are you kidding me? 500.
500 even.
Oh my God.
November 1st is when it will be released, but Dude.
That's a very easy pass for me.
$500.
That's
I can make that with paper mache.
That is more than my real car payment.
Dude, yeah.
And insurance.
Dude, that's crazy.
Holy crap.
Again, there you go. It's like reinforcing the idea. Yeah, don't need to be a part of it.
I'm just out on that. Does look great, though.
It does look cool, but it's like, man, I feel like I could just go find a cheap version of something and then just put a sticker on it and pretend. You know, like I don't know. Like, that's so outrageous. But the thing is the same thing with the Snowcat, is that people are going to do it. Yeah. You know, it almost would make it, like, I don't want it to fail because I know people love it, but it's also like, well, you know, when you do it, you just give them permission to keep going that route.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why I was like, but it was like, hey, whatever, you know, like, that's me complaining about it. Somebody else who makes like crazy levels of money, who's just like, hey, I don't care. Like, this is cool. I want this, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I guess if it's something from the 80s, it's not going to appeal to a child anyway. Right. So I guess it's just like the guys I went to high school with who got into tech.
Yeah.
Like, it's like just them. In the wrestling space, AEW has a ringside exclusive Adam Copeland in his blue and white Toronto kind of gear. Looks pretty good. Like, comes with Spike, his weapon, his like cricket bat or whatever it is that has nails in it. And then AEW also showed off Unmatched Series 12 with Mercedes Moné, Roderick Strong, Juice Robinson, 2 Ric Flairs, a regular and a chase, and a John Moxley. 2 John Moxleys. I guess it has 2 chases actually as well. They all look really good in render form. I guess we'll see what they look like in real life in hand form. But yeah, I think that is all the news that's fit to print. Should we get into our on deck collections?
I think that's a great idea.
Let's go.
I want to hear what you got.
Godzilla, size does matter.
Godzilla eggs are hatching! Mutant babies with slashing claws! Lock and load! These babies are packed with mutant attack powers! Electro nets are shredded! Our battle shields are failing! Wait! Nick's repelling into position! Fire! Oh no! Something big is coming! It's Godzilla! We need bigger guns!
Godzilla babies, hatchlings, action figures, and Supreme Godzilla each sold separately from Trendmasters.
All right, so if you guys missed what an on-deck collection is the last time that we did it, it's something that has cost me about $200 so far.
Yep.
Because my last on-deck collection, which we set out to do this segment as a theoretical, this is something I want to collect that exists.
Yes.
And here's the information about it. Well, for me, doing that means, well, now I've just determined the rules and let's go. So last time it was Predator, the NECA Predator figures, and I have 4 of them, and it went from an on deck collection to a collection before we even did the segment. That is not the case this time yet, but I am fielding offers.
Wheeling and dealing already.
But I'm going to let you go first.
All right, I'll go first. Here we go. So, yeah, I was, so I basically, like I said, I think in the first one that we did, built a list of about, I think of 12 to 13 lines that I intend to collect. Like, that I want, really, that it's just like, there's no question about whether or not I'm going to do it. It's just, I'm going to do it, you know? So if I go to a toy store, if that's like the only thing that's there that I'm not like primarily collecting right now, then I'm just going to do it, right? And the one that I wanted to tackle today was Godzilla from the 1998 masterpiece from TriStar, starring Matthew Broderick, before he was Inspector Gadget.
But after Ferris Bueller.
Yes, exactly. So that is exactly what I want to do. First of all, and why I say all that, because again, there's a lot of hot takes are going to be happening.
I feel like you're going to have to explain what it is that you love about that movie and like why you love that movie, because everyone who listens to the show, the people in Germany, the people in Australia, New Zealand, the people in Texas, I would say half of them just went, oh, cool. And the other half went, wait, what?
I will say that definitely took place. That definitely happened because I've told people that I'm like, I plan to talk about Godzilla. And then they're like, oh, and I'm like, from 98. And they're like, oh. And I'm like, just bear with me, please.
Yeah.
So it all started, man. That was my introduction to Godzilla.
Like, you didn't know that there was a Godzilla prior to that?
I don't think so. That's kind of where that blurry line is crossed, but I really don't think so, because I watched it on some faithful day and it just blew my mind. And it was everything that I could have ever wanted, because it was just about a giant monster in New York. And first of all, I just watched it recently, and it's the wettest movie of all time. The amount of
wettest,
the amount of fake rain that they had to use for that must have been like trillions of gallons of water.
Yeah, just excessively wasting resources that other countries badly need.
I mean, but like, if you go back and watch it, you could tell there's just somebody standing above them with a hose, like, because it's so crazy. I'm like, dude, with the amount of rain, the city of Manhattan would have been underwater.
Yeah.
It's wild. But yeah, I mean, you said you're like, once you watch it again, I think you're gonna have your mind changed. And really what happened was that I just understood what they were talking about.
Yeah.
But
you still love it.
I do, because I just don't know how I couldn't love it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
If I told you that it's dumb and bad and that you shouldn't like it, I would be destroying my glass house.
Yeah.
Like, my DVD collection is behind you.
Yeah.
If we started going through the stuff that I have and love because I found it when I was a kid, like Mortal Kombat,
yeah,
or Superman 4,
right,
or Van Damme's entire collection,
yeah,
then my glass house is going to break real fast. I am in support of, I like this dumb thing because I found it when I was a kid and I like it.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the worst movies ever made, but I'm older than you. So in 1998, I was a freshman in high school.
Yeah.
I was a little too old to be captivated by it, and I had already seen Toho Godzilla.
Exactly. And what was funny is that my mind was blown whenever I first started hearing that people hated it. I was like, wait, what? Did I miss something? Because I was obsessed with it, like, just beyond obsessed with it. I remember seeing the Taco Bell commercials.
That's the sort of campaign I was talking about that this Power Rangers Reignition thing feels like.
Yeah.
Is like, it's everywhere. Godzilla was everywhere.
Yeah.
I didn't know the Led Zeppelin song Kashmir. I knew the P. Diddy song Kashmir from the soundtrack of the movie Godzilla.
Which I love that song back in the day. I didn't know who it was or what it was. I just knew it as the song from Godzilla.
Yeah.
But it's so funny rewatching it and you realizing how bad it actually is.
It's good bad.
Yeah.
So a few of you may know me from the podcast Good Bad 2 the sequel. And we reviewed that movie on the show.
What?
Yeah. And
cursed.
Because it is good bad.
I mean, it's not Mac and Me. You know what I'm saying? If you're
far off.
But like, no, there is not a dance scene with a tiny alien in a McDonald's where somehow it's the funnest party of all time.
Yeah.
But it's funny because it's just there's no fat. They just move through there. There's no storytelling that really needs to evolve. Even like Nick, the character, Matthew Broderick's character,
Takawopoulos or whatever his name is.
And it's like they just use him as like kind of the comedic relief, who's like the smart guy that understands and figures it out. But there's no like evolution of the character. He just automatically figures it out, and then they're just like, oh, okay, on to the next thing. And he's really not even in the movie that much until like way later. It's bizarre, dude. But what I thought was hilarious about it, one, there's a lot of characters that are after rewatching it, I was like, that dude was in The Sopranos. That dude was in The Sopranos.
There's a lot of Simpsons cast members.
There's a lot of Simpsons cast members, too.
It's like loaded with Simpsons cast members, which is surreal.
It's like, I'm trying to think about, I'm like, man, that was like hot on the heels. Like Sopranos was a year later.
Yeah.
You know, The Simpsons was probably running as hot as ever at that time.
Yeah.
And it was just cracking me up because I'm like, man, like this Godzilla movie plus Sopranos just meshing together. And I was like, I loved it even more.
It's your dream come true.
Exactly. We talked about the voice of the Thing and who I was saying who would be a good voice for the Thing. It's super niche, but from Joe's Fruit Stand in Seinfeld, he's in Godzilla and he's like yelling at the old dude that's going. Well, first of all, the guy that goes out on the deck to fish, while it's pouring rain outside, and then the homeless dude is just
catches Godzilla.
I was like, what is going on? Well, the homeless dude that's just like making fun of the guy for like fishing, and he's like, "Oh, you're gonna catch all these a cold," and it's like, and the guy's like, "Well, hopefully I'll catch something," and then he just is reeling in Godzilla. It doesn't make sense at all. That's the funniest thing, dude. But
especially after you've seen -1.
Yeah, I mean, it's just different.
Yeah.
It's just different. Like to me, it's Godzilla, but they're different. Like,
I want to hear about the toys. I want to hear about the toy line, like as much information as you've gleaned about the toy line. But I also, and we could do this now, or we could even do it when the mics aren't on. I want to hear your defense of how you can still love Godzilla 1998, but you think that the current Kong versus Godzilla is beneath you.
I mean, I don't know. I couldn't. I mean, because it's modern awful. You know,
yeah.
That's all it is, and it's like I'm watching it with a fully developed brain, and it's like I liked the 2014 Godzilla before they were like they literally jumped the shark immediately.
Yeah.
So, but in this one, it's just so. I don't know, like the aesthetic, like the late 90s aesthetic is
neon green laser.
I'm telling you. And then like the scene where he's in the middle of the city and it's the helicopter scene.
They are in the middle of the
Godzilla.
city.
Yeah, he's asexual. He produces, right? Yeah. Like whatever. But but it was crazy because the like sort of comic book, it almost reminded me of Spider-Man the Animated Series, like the building montages.
Did you watch the cartoon?
I'm gonna get to that.
Okay,
I'm gonna get to that because then my world got even crazier, right? But that scene is like, I just love the way it looks, like the aesthetic of these like Black Hawk helicopters trying to hunt him down, but there's just infinite buildings that he's hiding behind and jumping up, and like it's not real. It's just like a 3D programming at the time or whatever. Yeah. But what's funny about it is, like I've told you this, where again I was obsessed with it, and this kid from my church gave me a Godzilla shirt, and I was like, "Oh my god!" He was like, "Yeah, I don't wear it anymore," and I'm like, So I put it on, and it fit, which I was fired up because I was fat back then, and I was like, "Perfect." And then I'm wearing that shirt every single day. You know, and plus it has a giant G on it with like this glow in the dark ooze substance, like literally glue in the dark. Glue? Glowed?
Yeah, it glued.
I'm all saying that my brain is fully developed.
Yeah, tell me again about how you're too highbrow.
Yeah, exactly. And so anyway, I told you this recently, but about like, you know, I'm climbing a tree one day, and then I guess I'm trying to come down, or I jump down, and as soon as I jump down, my shirt gets caught on a branch. It rips it open, and I'm like, no. And then I tell my mom, I'm like, man, my shirt ripped. And she's like, oh, that's fine. We can just sew that. That'll be easy to sew. And I was like, okay. And then she bought like lime green, like needle thread or whatever, like sewing thread or whatever. And so I decide to sew the shirt, having no idea how to sew whatsoever. So I was just making a crisscross pattern. And then once I was done sewing it, it just was a bunched up mess. And I was like, All right, well that'll work anyway. So then I basically wore like a giant like knot of like a so yeah, it just fit really weird. But back in the movie, Hank Azaria's character is named, his nickname is Animal. And guess who wanted their nickname to be Animal back then?
Because of him?
Because of him. I don't know why, bro. He had the backwards hat. No nonsense. When everybody else was running, he grabbed a video camera from a truck, and he ran towards Godzilla to film him.
Justice for Hank, for Animal.
Exactly. So I specifically was like, I want to be called Animal. And I remember having an opportunity at the playground when somebody was like, what's your name? And I may as well have done the opposite.
You have to call me Nighthawk?
Dude, I'm telling you, I may as well have done
Step Brothers.
Hold on. I may as well have done The Office, where they look at the camera, and I like basically in my brain, I look at the camera, I do the up and down eyebrows, like ding, 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 and then I look at them and I said, just call me Animal. And they're doing exactly what you did.
They're like, why is your shirt bunched up?
Yes, exactly.
Oh my god.
And they just laughed. And I was like, crap, that didn't work.
Oh my god.
And so the life and death of Animal lasted for 5 minutes. And I just thought, I have a clean slate, some random kid on the playground. They need to know who I am. They don't. And it all ends from there. So anyway.
Oh god.
But as far as the animated series go, the animated series is wild because
I remember it being awesome.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it since then, but I remember it being awesome.
Yeah, the aesthetic is very much, it's like the same, because at the time there was
Is the toy line based on the movie?
Or it's based on the movie. I think there are toys based on the animated series, because there's toys that are like they're like a darker gray, and his spikes are like far more blue.
Okay.
Which is how his design looks in the show.
Okay.
But it's funny because I don't know if you remember, I don't know, I thought this was maybe Austin, but again, I thought HEBs were everywhere because I'm very under-traveled. So, but did you ever go to Discovery Zone?
It like sounds familiar.
It was like a Chuck E. Cheese type place.
It was like a short-lived kind of thing.
Very short-lived. Yeah. One of the funnest days of my life going to freaking Discovery.
Did it have to do with the Discovery Channel?
I don't know. I don't think so, because I remember specifically that there was, which I think there is, I don't know, maybe there was a crossover. I have a crossover in my brain. But remember the Men in Black cartoon?
Yeah.
There was the Men in Black cartoon, which was like the same sort of animation as the Godzilla.
Oh,
I bet you it was the same.
It had to have been the same studio.
Same studio, whatever. But I specifically remember there being a Men in Black game at Discovery Zone, and I'm almost positive there was a Godzilla one also there. But the animated series, so I pull up on YouTube as I'm kind of just like, I was like, oh yeah, they do have that. So I went back and looked. And for one thing, there's like he has to fight a monster, obviously, in every episode. So in this universe, there's massive monsters that exist, which I thought was kind of cool, because I was like, man, you could have just kept going with this franchise, and we would have seen. And the monsters look pretty cool, because they're like, I don't know, other creatures that were around during the nuclear blast that also mutated. It wasn't just iguanas, which is also funny to think about. An iguana, he's a giant iguana. But what's hilarious is that I'm like listening to the voices and the character design of Nick and Animal, all of them, they're all like different for the most part.
Yeah, like I always took that to mean they didn't want to pay Hank Azaria and Matthew Broderick.
Definitely not, because they're not. They're completely different looks, like design of the characters, completely different voices. The voices that are the same are like the weird sneezy guy who's like always constantly like, you know, and then like the redhead lady, she may have come back, which again, she was also in Seinfeld. She was George's secretary. And then the like general, for some reason, he comes back and he's voicing the character in the animated. So he didn't have work at the time.
Wait, did you like recently watch the animated show for like research?
Kinda, because I was like, I went back and
where'd you find it?
YouTube. Okay. It's literally, you can watch all the episodes on YouTube.
All right, I might do
Doesn't really happen that much. So I'm looking in there. I hear Animal's voice in the animated series, and I'm like, that's really weird because why does that voice sound familiar? It's Joe Pantaleone. Another Sopranos combination of Godzilla.
He gets quoted in my house almost every day from The Sopranos.
Dude.
We're G-rated podcast, so I'm not going to repeat it.
Yeah.
But that's wild.
It blew my mind. And now I just have this...
He's like a caliber actor.
Yeah, at the time, though...
Dude, he had been in Goonies. He had been in, like,
right.
Bad Boys. He had been in... I guess he hadn't been in The Matrix yet. But,
yeah.
like, he's a guy.
Yeah, he was, like, hot on the heels of The Matrix, because I think that was 99.
If the cartoon came out, it might have been right around the exact same time. But he's a dude.
Yeah.
He's a well above Godzilla the animated series.
Who knows?
That's crazy.
And it's, so now I just have this fantasy about just this sort of like, instead of Godzilla X Kong, it's Godzilla X The Sopranos. And so I've got these bits in my head that I'm just like, oh my God, man, just freaking Paulie Walnuts. Yeah. Hey, T, you see there's a giant lizard out of here? But I just thought that was amazing. And so, that the venture into that and rewatching it, it's funny. Because it really is sad. They killed Godzilla when he was just not even really doing anything, really. And then they feel bad for him, but then they kill him anyway. And then
they tried to do the ending of the original King Kong. Like they tried to do the tragedy of King Kong.
Yeah.
Doesn't really work.
And I'm curious if they were like, hey, we got a bunch of leftover mechanics for raptors. So we can use those.
Well, yeah, it's also 5 years after Jurassic Park. They're just capitalizing off of Jurassic Park.
Probably, yeah. And then the whole like Madison Square Garden scene is just like, it's like something I can tangibly taste. That whole scene is just like the popcorn and like there's like bubble gum.
Smells like hot dogs.
Yeah, like it's really wild how that scene looks. But it's directed by Roland Emmerich.
Yep.
Which he's got a very, very
fascinating discography.
I mean,
filmography.
You kind of see what his like.
He likes destruction.
Yeah, it's like destructive type things, and they're all like really poorly rated. So sucks for him. But anyway. I never had any of the toys growing up. One of my friends had one Godzilla that was about 14 inches tall, something like that, 12 to 14 inches tall, that he was swimming with in the pool one time. And I contemplated stealing it from him because it was so amazing. But it was one that, a lot of them had a button that you could push on the back and it would roar. But Trendmasters is, I think, what also made a lot of the other Godzilla toys outside of this one by itself.
Okay.
But this line in particular, apparently Toy Biz had made a couple of Godzilla themed toys that I guess weren't like actually licensed. I'm not sure. I got to like do a little bit of research in that because I was already researching. But the Trendmasters one in particular, it's just like a ton of Godzilla, different versions of him that are different sizes. The tallest one being 2 feet tall. Yeah. Which was at Retromania for $500 in box. It looks amazing. I was looking at reviews of it. I'm like, oh my God. Like that, I'm very much somebody who doesn't want to spend fat chunks of cash on toys.
Yeah.
Especially that big. But I don't know, man. I think if I found it loose somewhere, I might have to get it because it is also kind of a ripoff of the T-Rex from Jurassic Park.
For sure.
Because you could open up the mouth and you can put guys in the mouth.
Well, you talk about like toyeticness and playability and what appeals to a little boy. Like there's vehicles that you could put people inside of, and then there's giant monsters that you can put people inside of. That's the pinnacle.
Yeah.
Like that's just the best thing in the world.
Yeah, mind-blowing, dude. With the T-Rex, you pull it out of the stomach.
Yeah.
With the Godzilla, he's got like a latch on his back that you can pull out.
Okay.
And he comes with a couple toys, or like 2 action figures. But basically what the toy line looked like, just having done like the research of it, I don't know if I would collect everything. There's a lot of vehicles, a lot of mindless vehicles. Like they were scratching at ideas. They were like scuba diver Nick, kind of like that's like what they were doing.
Wait, who is this? Playmates?
It's Trendmasters.
Trendmasters. Are they repurposing something else?
That's a good question.
Is it a different toy line that they're just painting differently?
Actually, I don't think so. I think they basically just created toys for it. They basically it was like they just were like, hey, there's not a lot we can use from the movie, so we need to come up with as much as we can.
Yeah, when you just watch the movie, there's not a lot of toy options there.
Mm-mm.
There's like Godzilla and some helicopters, and that's it.
That's basically all it is. It's like fighter jets, a helicopter, like a couple helicopters, a Humvee, and then like a motorcycle, and that's it. So there is an extension. There are other characters, like there's Philippe, like the Leon, the professional character.
Yeah.
There's like him. There's Nick. There's the bumbling idiot sergeant. For some reason, he's just the guy who can't get things done.
But no 7-year-old wants action figures of these people, except for that they are people for Godzilla to eat.
But then they come with like they come with weapons. They come with vehicles. Like there's the one with Nick that has like a rocket launcher, and it's like he never once
toys for the sake of toys.
Yeah. So those, I gotta be honest. I'm like, man, I'm not sure if I would do them because I don't remember seeing those in particular. So they don't really hold that value from like if I went back in time, I would have loved them with everything that I had. So I almost would do it for my younger self.
Yeah.
But by far,
and are those sold like individual on card?
So when we went to Dallas Vintage Toys last time, did we find that? Yeah, because I pulled up that Godzilla box when we like towards the back. I think I pointed it out to you. I was like, oh
it's
my
like
god.
Up top?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was $100, and it was one of the helicopters. So
okay.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, yeah, man. But like a helicopter is $100 from Godzilla. Like you're basically paying for the box.
$100 for any kind of retro '90s figure, big thing in box, not that bad.
Apparently, there's a massive collecting space for this movie.
Really?
Like the movie didn't do well, but there's a huge collector's like. I guess just there's
community?
a community for this movie.
For the toys.
Which makes sense because, again, like...
For those specific toys from that time, but not like new merchandise.
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I would probably... Right now, I have in like... I think he's 8 inches, which was one of the best finds of my existence. Because I found him at the first Chemical Toy Fair, and it was in a tub, and the tub just said $5 each. And I walk over there, and I was like, "Is this $5?" And she says, "Yep." And I'm like, "Oh my god!" So
a Godzilla?
A Godzilla for $5. Yeah,
damn.
Yeah, and it's one of them that's 8 inches tall, and it does have. I didn't check it. I probably could try put some batteries in it or see if it works because it would growl, and it has like his claws go up and down basically if you push a button on his back or his mouth opens. But I looked up on eBay, like most of them going loose are anywhere from like 40 to 60.
Whoa.
So for some reason I got a crazy steal. They were just offloading stuff. So that was amazing.
Okay.
But that'll never happen again because at Retromania, the booth that had the 2-foot tall one had 2 more that were loose. One was $100, the other one was $50. And that's one that Samantha and I went back to like 40 times trying to debate whether or not we wanted to do that.
Yeah.
And I kind of wish we would have just pulled the trigger on at least one of them because they're just hard to come by.
Yeah.
Like I don't really know if finding them in the wild that's the first I've ever seen them in the wild like that.
Yeah.
Because I'm just I would have to eBay them. But I just, man, they just ring a bell in my head that is almost going to cause me to break some rules in my own collecting, which is basically just dropping more money than I want to drop. But it's just worth it. And if
it makes you happy,
Yeah.
That's the whole thing with this whole like collecting space is like it's so hard to balance like not putting yourself in the poorhouse. But if something genuinely makes you super happy, not just to purchase it, but to then have it and look at it every day, and it's still making you happy, you're never going to remember that $100, but you will remember every single day of just staring at that thing going like, I love this. So
my idea behind that is that I'm like, okay, I'm going to have a miscellaneous shelf, but if I have a Godzilla specific shelf, like those, they're going to be tall because I think I probably won't do the 2-foot tall one. Like it's going to be hard for me to pull the trigger on one to do a 300. I've seen them go for like $300.
Okay.
But they're still big, right? The one that was $50 was like 10 inches tall. The other one that was $100 at Retromania was 14 inches or like 12 inches. So they take up a lot of space. But I just envision that going into my toy room and just having a shelf or whatever, something that is just full of those Godzillas at all sizes.
Yeah.
There's like the baby toys that like pop out of the eggs. I don't really need those. I wasn't really a fan of the babies then. So I was like, I'm cool with that. I just want Godzilla. So I probably would I think I'm just going to stick to him.
Are there other giant monsters that you're a fan of on like relatively the same scale? Like, would there be a shelf that has a Jurassic Park T-Rex, a Godzilla, a Peter Jackson King Kong, like multiple giant monsters that are like as a shelf?
See, in my brain, I would have my Godzilla shelf. I would have my Jurassic Park shelf.
Okay.
So anything like that with like scale.
Yeah.
Because, I have like a cave troll and I plan on I want to get more into the, obviously, Lord of the Rings, which we'll talk about way later because that's another on that collection.
Okay.
But yeah, dude, I just envision a shelf with just like a 12-inch, 10-inch, 8-inch, however big I can get. And that's it. And just like, I just love the aesthetic. Even just I was looking at posters yesterday just to see, I'm like, dude, I got to get some posters of this. That green.
Yeah.
Some of the shirts.
The only reason, because I remember really vividly being really excited ahead of that movie.
Yeah.
And really disappointed walking out of it. But the marketing and the posters and the cups and the logo were so good. And they captured such a moment in time of like getting you excited in that moment. If that same stuff came out now, it probably wouldn't work.
Yeah.
But you're right. It is gripping. Like, and to be like a littler kid, you didn't stand a chance.
Exactly. Plus there was a huge marketing. The marketing was not revealing him.
Right.
For a long time.
Foot.
It was a foot. And I remember watching the Taco Bell commercial and just jumping for joy. And anytime I would hear it on the TV, I'd come running around the corner because I'm like, here it is, here it is, here it is. But yeah, so I think I would do that. I definitely like some of the other merch stuff too. Like I've seen cups in the wild, or like I think I was in a antique store semi recently where there was a lunchbox. So like even some of that stuff, I'm like, man, I don't know why I'm so tempted to get that. But I don't know. I love the aesthetic. I love the design, and I'm fired up to just get into that. Because man, walking into a room where it's just like Power Rangers, Marvel, DC, Jurassic Park, Godzilla, and it's just like, man, bury me in it,
I love that for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, my on deck collection, much less deep in my heart as Godzilla is to you. We've kind of beat around the bush a little bit about mine. I legitimately had fully planned on showing up here today and talking about something entirely different from my on deck collection that was in my head before we decided to do this podcast. It was on my mind. Before we decided to do this episode, it was on my mind, and I will still get around to that line as well. But then fate intervened, where you and I went to Retromania, and I said, hey, send me a picture of the stuff that you bought. and you sent me the picture, and one of the things that you bought was a 10-inch Superman from the animated series. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. And then I went to your house to record, and you had the 10-inch Superman sitting out. And I was like, oh, is that the one that you just bought? And you were like, yeah. And I picked it up and looked at it, and it just did something to me. Where the animated series, the Bruce Timm, DC art style, we talked about this for some reason a couple episodes back, where I was saying sometimes when you take something 2D and you turn it 3D, it doesn't translate.
Right.
And often the Bruce Timm style, that's the case. So every animated figure that I've seen when it's like 3 3/4, or even when it's like McFarlane 7-inch, it just looks kind of dumb and fake to me. I don't, as much as like I absolutely adore that Justice League, Batman animated series, Superman animated series art style, there's something about the figures that just it just looks weird.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never even really considered chasing them down and having a collection of them, because I just think that they kind of look stupid.
Yeah.
Until I picked up that 10-inch figure that you have, and there's just something about the mold and the size where I went, this is it. This is what it's supposed to be. Like, my love for Superman obviously is at a pretty much an all-time high this week because of the movie.
Right.
I'm just on cloud, and I've seen it twice. And that I just couldn't get that figure out of my head. So I went on the internet and I was like, what is this? I think we even talked about it when you bought it. I was like, what is it? And you were like, I'm not really sure. And so I started searching 10-inch DC figures. And the first thing that I came up with from like AI was like, oh, it's a DC Direct, and that there's like a bunch of them. So I go on eBay, I search DC Direct 10-inch animated, and nothing is coming up. And I'm going, oh, they must be incredibly rare. Like, they must be so rare that there's just no listings for it, was my thought. So I kind of put it down. And I was like, there's just not enough of them to facilitate a collection, so I kind of don't care. Then the only ones that I did see was like 2 or 3 listings, and they were loose and they were really beat up. And I was like, I don't want it beat up. I want it like minty. So I just gave it up. I was like, okay, I'm done. And then you went to Bat City Toys and you bought something entirely different, and you came back with photos of Green Lantern and
it was the Justice Lord's Superman.
And the Justice Lord Superman in box. And when it was in box, I saw that it is not DC Direct. It's DC Superheroes, which we did a full breakdown of the 6-inch. Right. And somehow, even in all of that research that I did, I missed that there was a 10-inch Justice League / Justice League Unlimited from Mattel, which is what that Superman that you have is. And there is an entire Justice League waiting for me, raring to go. And so that is what I'm bringing to the table for On Deck Collection. There's only 12 figures.
That's perfect.
There's a Superman, like standard Superman, standard Batman, Flash, Green Lantern, Jon Stewart, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Hawk Girl, Green Arrow, the Atom, the Martian Manhunter, and then there's a Reverse Flash and the Silver Superman.
Cool.
So there's just those 12 figures.
Awesome.
They go for about 20 to 40 loose.
Okay.
And they go for about 40 to 60 mint in box.
Not bad at all.
Not bad at all. And I think I'm first to the game on this from a retro standpoint. They came out in between 2003 and 2005, so they're very much retro.
Yeah. They
haven't hit the 30-year itch yet, but they're retro. So I don't need all of them either. I don't need to be a completist.
Oh, what the heck? I as you talked about this, I was like, because I'm like, I kind of fully plan to get into that one too. And
so you have a different outlook and relationship with DC than I do. Okay. You love the D-list characters.
I love them all.
You love the obscure characters. There's like B-list characters that I don't care about. Like, I don't need Hawk Girl.
Okay, I can see that.
I don't need the Atom.
Oh my god.
I don't need Reverse Flash.
I could. I out of all of those, I probably wouldn't get him.
So the only ones that I want are the core Justice League,
Okay.
which is Superman, Batman, Flash, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, Aquaman with a beard and Hook, shirtless Aquaman with the beard and Hook. Oh my God! I have an offer sitting in my inbox from eBay right now for like $12.
Oh my God!
But the only reason I haven't pulled the trigger is because I'm waiting if other ones come in also.
Gotcha.
And Green Arrow and Martian Manhunter.
Perfect.
The Martian Manhunter, all of these. I'll post pictures. The Flash inbox, it's the most expensive out of all of them.
Interesting.
Which is, it's not like outrageous, but it's the most expensive because it just looks so unbelievably clean in the box.
Yeah.
So here's my dilemma.
Okay.
I don't know if I want to keep them in the box or not.
I wouldn't,
because the box looks really cool. They're well visible inside the box, and the packaging is really, really nice. But they also just look so clean and like so cartoony and like loose as well. So it's another classic signature John dilemma of like, I just don't know. And the box changes. The box is orange Justice League and it's purple Justice League Unlimited.
Right.
The purple one doesn't look great. So, and I in my crazy brain, I don't like the change.
Okay.
So
there's your answer then.
Yeah. So I guess I just talked it out.
Yeah.
It has to be loose. I might double up on one or two just because they look so good. But
like I said, I've seen them before in stores. So I that's what I think. It's like they're pretty common.
Yeah.
So but for sure, I would definitely. I like the way the box looks, but I would definitely open them.
And I think it is maybe tough to find really, really minty boxes. I will buy them in box because I want the figure mint.
Yeah.
And it's not that expensive.
No, it's not.
It's like $5 or $10 more to get it in the box, and that way I know that it isn't janky. I do think it has the issue that a lot of older figures have, where the back of the like cape or their back touching the box for 30 years has rubbed off a little bit of like a spot on their back.
Yeah.
But if I know that's an issue, and I know that it's potentially the only issue because nobody played with it, it hasn't been in the swimming pool,
right? Then
I'm okay with that. Because if I put them on a shelf all standing together and just closing my eyes, the mental image of the full Justice League 10-inch like pristine paint. Oh my God, dude.
It's amazing.
I just like, I can hear the theme song.
Yeah.
Like I just love that show so much. And this is the first time ever that there's been like legit toys that I am finding out about where I went, yeah, that's what I need.
Yeah.
Like that's what I need. Because I've had this hunger for a Justice League, and up until I found out about these, I was just going to wait for Mattel.
Right.
And I presume that they'll do a good job. Like, so now I have something concrete, a checklist, not that expensive. I'm just going to eBay it. If I see them in the wild, cool. But I could probably, if I was really motivated, I could knock this out on eBay by the end of the day.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so definitely by like a month. My birthday's coming up. so
if anybody leaves a review,
I have a $25 gift card that somebody gave me. So I should be able to accomplish this. So that'll be cool pictures for Instagram. I don't know where to put it. That's the other thing. I was thinking like near the ceiling, but because they're so tall, I don't know where I can do that.
Honestly, do you plan on getting more of the Batman animated series toys?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. So that's going to take up quite a bit of space. I'll have to figure that out. I'm already to a point where I need to make some shelving decisions, like to get some more shelving, but
I mean, to be honest, like where your books are, like right under there, could be kind of cool if you push the books back a little bit and see if they're like a line of them, if 7 of them could fit on that.
Oh yeah, covering up the graphic novels. Yeah, but
yeah. You almost want them a little bit more out.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at. That's my next on deck collection. We want to know about your guys' on deck collections or your current collections or what you bought this week. So get at me at Mighty Champion. Send me pictures of what you're collecting, what you want to collect. We want to connect with you guys. Minor miracle that I just got that sentence out in one piece. like I said, hit the review button. You did listen to this podcast already. It's over. Hit that review button. Leave us a review. Take a screenshot of the review. Send it to me at Mighty Champions. Whoever has the most interesting review by the next time we sit down to record, you're going to get a brand spanking new Adam Warlock Marvel Legends with the little tiny comic book and the Infinity Gauntlet. So pretty simple stuff.
Pretty easy. Just
show up in the mail, free of charge. All right, guys, that's it from us. We'll catch you guys next week. Peace.
Godzilla, size does matter.
Godzilla eggs are hatching! Mutant babies with slashing claws! Lock and load! These babies are packed with mutant attack powers! Electro nets are shredded! Our battle shields are failing! Wait! Nick's repelling into position! Fire! Oh no! Something big is coming! It's Godzilla! We need bigger guns!
Godzilla babies, hatchlings, action figures, and Supreme Godzilla each sold separately from Trendmasters.